Hello there. It's me, Candice, Sister Minh Bao, with Happy Catastrophe. And I'm here with my completed pages for October 2024. It's almost 10 o'clock at night, and it's the day after elections. And I found it really hard today to just sit down and do anything except eat and color. I've colored 2.5 pages today, which is the most I've ever colored in one day. And if you're like me and this is a rough day for you too, I want you to know that I care about you, that we have tools for self-care to take care of ourselves, like this wonderful Matchstick mouse. And we will get through this. It's going to be a long 4 years. And we will see, like we did last time, more lies, more fact-checking, more unchecked abuse of power, and a lot of hatred towards other human beings. And I want you to know that we're strong. And as the Buddha said, you cannot fight hate with hate. Only love wins against hate. So I believe that's true. So when we turn on our televisions for the next 4 years and hear all of the hate towards other human beings, just for trying to be who they are, and the intolerance of people who are just trying to make a new life for themselves, we can confront that with love. Don't let the hate infiltrate your heart. Remain open. You have friends here in this community. You have a friend in me. And I love you very much. And we will get through this. So that's what coloring is for. And a bowl of pistachio pudding the size of my head, of which, yes, I have just sat here and eaten with a spoon. Because I can. Let's hit it. So welcome back to Happy Catastrophe. I'm Candice, and this is October 2024 completed pages. And wow, was it a month. I colored like crazy. Look at that, 28 finished pages. I am in shock. I can't even, because I'm terrible at keeping records, I would have to go through every single one of these months, which I will before the end of the year, because I'll do an end of the year wrap up. But that's got to be my biggest month. I've never reached 30, and that's pretty close to 30. Of those 28, 21 were buddies. So I'm just doing a lot of buddies, and it's working out really well. I figured out the trick is I just put out there in my planning video what pages I would like to do. And then if anybody wants to do them with me, they just get hold of me, and I make little chat groups and we just all do it together. So I have chat groups for all of these pages. And if there's more than one person wanting to do it with me, and I'm having a blast. It's so much fun. So I'll have lots of pages to show you, and 8 untouched books. I was looking, I know I haven't finished my inventory yet. I just have so many videos coming out. I was looking through my books though, laying in bed, because they are in my bedroom with me. I love them there because then I can just reach over and grab one and look through it at night. And I see very few that I haven't colored in. So I think my percentage is below 20%, which was my goal for the end of this year. So that's incredible. So let's get started and see what I did. Okay. We're going to go in order, and my pile here is gigantic. So let me get myself organized, and I'll be right back. Okay, my first page that I did of the month was in this wonderful book. I now own 2 Camellia Angelica books, thanks to wonderful friends who have gifted them to me. And this one is a lot of fun. I love both of them. These Spellbound books that Camellia has, they are framed in. So I really like them because they have kind of a natural framing to them. So it feels like a real complete picture. And I did a buddy with Evelay. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your name, Evelay. She's at the Coloring Mermaid. And we did the angler fish. So let me show you hers first, which I absolutely love. This one was a little bit tricky because it needed to have, some special lighting. And because of that thing hanging down, right? Like there's a little goblin devil-y type character riding on top of the anglerfish. And I just love the way she did it. That's the way, it's obviously a light source, and the light is bouncing off the other creatures, and it's just really well done. And it's absolutely beautiful. I love her picture. This is what I did. I didn't quite get success with the light source. I kind of later I kind of thought about making it a light source too late. What I wanted to do was just make it look like it was deep water, so it was very dark, and everything is glowing. So the skeleton fish glow, everything's neon and glowing down here. However, I didn't make the fish glowing, and now I kind of think I should have. And I really I couldn't get past, this was one of my first, it was my first finished page of the month. So I was still in the mode that pumpkins had to be orange. In fact, I don't think I ever got out of it. I think all my pumpkins this month were orange. But I had a lot of fun doing this. This is all alcohol markers with some acrylic paint pen covering the lines of various brands. And I really like it. I actually love the color of the fish. This color is from an old Spectrum Noir set. I have only a few left, and they're mostly the colors that they're from years and years ago. And what's left are the colors that I just didn't use much, so they're not dried up yet. And so this ugly baby puke green is like perfect for a scary angler or a goofy angler fish at the bottom of the sea. So I loved this. So thank you, Evelay. That was a lot of fun. And that's 50 Spellbound Aquatic Scenes by Camellia Angelica. All right. Now, the next one I did was one I did not have a buddy with. I'm pretty sure in my plans I mentioned it, but nobody wanted to jump aboard this one with me, so I did it on my own, and that's the pumpkin that's in here. Now, the pumpkin, and this is what I did. This pumpkin I thought about for the last 2 years for Halloween, and I've chickened out every time. But this time I did it, and it's all alcohol markers. It's almost 100% alcohol markers, and then acrylic paint pen on top. Now, this acrylic pen, as you can see, is very, very shiny. It's the coppery gold pen in the super golden markers, which I have right here. It's these. I love these. And these were a wonderful gift. And I've already used up the gold, the best gold that's in here. It's already gone. And now I'm to the ends of this one. This is the one I've been using in place of the gold. It's like a copper gold. And that's what I put all over here, but it's almost out. So I definitely have been using the heck out of these pens. And that's all it is. So I really liked this one. I had a good time with it. I just, it was really fast. Like I did this almost all in one evening and I was shocked. Like these pages look so difficult, but once you get going on them, that one did take a long time. But once you get going on them and you just do one element at a time, and I started with the background so I could see everything pretty clearly, it just went really fast after that. So I did some highlighting in there from the moon in the back. Made it look like there was moon glow on the trees. But inside's pretty simple. There's no pencil at all on this. It's all alcohol marker. And I on purpose made it the alcohol marker sketchy like that to look like sky. But I think what I really like about this the most is all of that super golden marker. It really gave it a sort of a gilded look. And I think once I started doing it on the pumpkin, and then I just kept going and did everything. And the more I did, the more I liked it. I thought that really brought it up a level from being just an alcohol marker page. So yeah, so that was from Enchanted Earth, Melpomene Chatsipani Gyotu. I have this book of hers, and I have the Nature Mandalas ones. I do not have the Circle of Life. I keep saying I'm going to get it, and then I get other things, but I still haven't colored more than 3 or 4 pages in here. So that's right. When I went through this, guys, with you when I was doing my inventory, I noticed I had a whip, and I don't even remember doing that ever. So maybe I'll do that, finish that up this month. I don't like having whips, but anyway, this is a really fun book. I like this book a lot. So that's Melpomene. Okay. The next one I did, because I needed an easy page, an easy win again, was I got in this one. And I was determined to do all the Halloween ones in this one. I didn't get that far, but I did a couple at least. And for this one, I said, this one was not with the buddy, but I have another one further on that was with the buddy. This is the Witch on the Flying Pumpkin. So let me find the Witch on the Pumpkin. And I like these so, I mean, aren't they adorable? I think of the 2 books, I like them both, but I think this one I like better. I mean, there's so many Halloween pages, though. There's no way I could do them all. But they're just, they're so, look at that. They're so cute. I feel like I was supposed to do that one. But if I missed a buddy with somebody, please let me know. I got a little confused there after a bit because I had so many pages, so many. Oh, this one. Isn't she cute? Now this one, I thought I had a buddy with this one. Did I have a buddy with this one? Nope, nobody. It was just me. So I made her have white hair, and I used a silver super golden marker. And then there's black Sakura glaze in the eyes. So that's the only sparkly stuff on here. And the stars, I use that silver marker to make stars. The rest of this is just alcohol marker. And that's what I want this book to be. I don't want this book to be about, I thought I did. I thought I wanted to add pencil and make it really fancy. And then I realized I do that on enough books. This book needs to just be fun. Just alcohol marker and get it done quickly. So that's what I did. I think she's cute. I love this drawing so much. And I decided to give her red clothes this time. I think it's the first time I've given a witch red clothes. So I really like that. Okay, let me grab the next 3 books. All right, so the next 2 I did was out of Annie Day Autumn Vibes coloring book. This is a new one, a new book for me. And it was a gift from Sarah Simi Bonham. Sarah Simi and I had dinner together Friday night. Can you believe it? She's from California and I'm in Oregon, and she was coming up here to visit a friend in Portland. So I'm a long ways from Portland, but I work in Salem, which is only about 45 minutes. So we met there for dinner, and I actually got to meet one of my friends online. And it was, I can't tell you how wonderful it was to just hug her and see her in person and spend time with her in person and see her smile. I wish I could do that with all of you. The even cooler thing, the thing that made that night even cooler was that that's the first time I've been out to dinner with somebody in years, because I got so sick from COVID, and I've been so sick that I just have never had the energy to do it. And but I'm on some protocols that are really helping, and I just really wanted to do it. So I rested a lot before. We picked a night where I had the next 2 days off so that I could sleep. And I did. I slept for both days, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. My heart is still warm and glowing from that. So she's a wonderful person. So definitely say hi to Sarah. So we did out of this one, Sarah and I didn't do a buddy. Sarah gave me this wonderful book. The buddy I did out of this one was... the first one I did was with nobody. Was with nobody. It was with myself, but I had no buddy. And that is her with the cauldron. Now, I wanted to do all of her Halloween pages in here, and I think I did all but 2. Here, this is the one I did with her with the cauldron. And I really had fun. This one is just alcohol markers and acrylic paint pens. There's some white there for the garlic, and I was trying to figure out how to do pumpkins in sort of a fun way. That's not it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did fix that later in the month. So, and then it's got also some more of that super golden marker on there. And, just some stuff covering some of the lines. What I love in this page, I love that Morgan O'Brien put Matchstick in there with her and Wormy look. And I make her different all the time. I give her different colored hair. So she has red hair and golden eyes on this one. I really like her hat. I like the colors that I got going there with those alcohol markers. I think the hat worked out pretty well. And I love the color of her dress. I do love the brickwork and the red curtain in the background. I think that's pretty striking. The pumpkins were a disaster, but I do love the crystal ball and the garlic. So this was just a fun page. I do like the color palette that's here. And she's just such a beautiful character to color, isn't she? I absolutely love her. And then I did another one. Now, this one ended up being popular with 2 different people, both Juliet Colors and Julianne Annette Art. We did her flying on the broomstick. So let me show you Juliet Colors here. And these ladies did such wonderful jobs. I mean, the backgrounds they got and their skies and just... the creativity. It always amazes me how creative people can be. And here's Julianne Annette Art. Julianne. Both of these folks have YouTube channels now. They're both fairly new at YouTube. And so definitely go check out their YouTube channels because they're both really great. I love them both. So those were some gorgeous buddy colors. And that one sky just blows me away with the sunset or sunrise sky. It was just beautiful. But here's what I did. I made her into Elphaba, the Wicked, in Wicked, the sister who had the challenging green skin. And this is all alcohol markers. And with some of that super gold. Now, this is the gold. This is before the gold ran out this month. That's the gold in the super golden marker that I miss so much. I love that gold. And yeah, I thought that the top of her dress was transparent. And so at the time, I didn't really know how to do. Now looking at it, I would probably go over the lines with white to give it more of a transparent look because those are her freckles. So the top must be transparent, but I didn't figure out how to do that until later in the month when I watched a tutorial, and that's going to become the theme of this month. So yeah, those were the 2 I did there. And then I did a buddy. Now I did quite a few out of this one because hello, it's Halloween coloring book, and I hadn't colored in it at all. So I was like, I got to get my Halloween coloring in. This book is so cute. One of the things I love about it is that all the black, the background when he's outside is black, and they're just such simple, fun pages. They really are. So this was a buddy with Meg's Coloring Corner, the artist formerly known as Disney Meg's. And we did the upside down one, right? Didn't we do the bat? Let me double check because I didn't write it down. Yeah, I did quite a few out of here. So with Meg, I did the upside down bat one, didn't I? Yes. So we did the upside down bat one. And I was trying to go for different colors. And here's where I tried to do my pumpkins different. So I just did them purple instead of orange, but still didn't really know how to color them. They're just flat colored with alcohol markers and some Sakura glaze pen inside. I didn't make them glowing or anything. I didn't really know where, I was kind of confused. My light sourcing is kind of confused. I used my Mungyo, the water soluble oil pastels, which I love. And this is the shiny ones, the pearl colors. But I don't think the page makes sense very well. But I do like the colors. And I love that I did him in this bat. Now, I don't know if is this Matchstick Mouse transformed as a bat? Because I know she's a witch. So does she sometimes turn herself into a bat? I don't know. I do like that she's gray. Because I also think that if you were, this is where the lighting doesn't make sense. Usually something looks grays when the light comes from behind them, but I've got light inside the cave. I do have it bouncing off of her, and I think that helps. But then the cave is all sparkly. So yeah, well, lighting doesn't make sense in this page. But I really enjoyed it. I had a good time using those Mungyo water soluble. Those water soluble pastels are great because you can just paint with them. And makes a background like that really easy. Yeah, so that's what I did with Megan this month. And then I went on and with, let's look at Megan's. Sorry. I watched her completed coloring pages already this month. And seeing our side-by-side was really fun because they're really different. And I kind of like that when buddies are really different. It's fun when they're really the same too, and you didn't share ahead of time, so they just come out that way. But Meg always just does such a great job with her pages. She's always got really cohesive palettes and neat highlighting. She does her highlighting right, and her light sourcing usually looks pretty spot on, where mine, when it works great, and when it doesn't, it's spectacular failure. All or nothing. So thank you, Meg, for doing that with me. It was so much fun. And then I did one with Amy Cat's Colors. And we did decorating with a spider decoration. Now, let's look at Amy's first. So here's Amy's. Now, it makes so much sense. It's like the Halloween colors, and she's decorating with this blow up, maybe spider or fuzzy spider, some sort of spider decoration. And it's just, I absolutely love the way her colors go together. And I love the way that she has light lit up certain areas and dark certain areas, and it just is really easy on the eyes. So I just think that page is beautiful. So thank you, Amy, for that. This was my page. For some reason, I'm looking at this, and this looks like a blackberry to me. Doesn't it? I mean, why does the spider have lumps and 2 leaves? I'm like, that's a blackberry. So I started coloring it like a blackberry, and I got done, and I thought, I don't know if that's right. But I had to go for it now. So I gave the spider purple legs, and then I thought, maybe it's like a blow-up spider, and it's just made to look like it's a blackberry, because why would it be a blackberry at Halloween? Around here at Halloween, blackberries are done. So I put these marks on it like it's a blow-up, but then I noticed that it's actually fuzzy. So my spider makes no kinds of sense whatsoever. If it's fuzzy like this, it wouldn't be shiny. And if it's a true blackberry, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But it looked like a blackberry. So I made it a purple spider. And then I think this is a little nutshell full of more decorations. So I just I didn't know what they all were. This looks like bat wings, but I don't know what that is. I don't know. I just colored them different colors. I made the background gray and didn't do anything special to it. It looked like it was in a little cave. And then I used those super golden markers for the silver one for the spider webs and for the bunting. And had fun. Now with Matchstick, I give her different colored hats every time. I make her different every time. I just colored a page with her where I made her white and brown and her hat was green and she had green eyes. So I always put some color on her eyes, but it depends on the page what color it is. I should have done purple to match the spider. I still think that's a blackberry. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know some of you also colored this probably. What is that? But that was fun. So thank you, Amy, so much. This was a real joy to color this page with you. All right, let me get the rest of them, or at least the next 3. All right, so I was on a roll with the small pages, small, fast coloring pages. I was having so much fun with them. Plus, I had so many buddies that these felt like easy wins to knock off, so I just did a whole bunch of them in a row. So this was the second one out of this book, and this was with Evelay again, now of the Coloring Mermaid. We decided to do 2 this month together. And so this one, let's show you hers. I thought this page was a lot of fun, and I thought hers was so beautiful. She has a really classy touch with colors, and her colors look good together. They're always this really mature palette, and they just look great. She has a very high class style, I think. And I absolutely love coloring with her. She's just the kindest person, and she does a fantastic job. So this was beautiful. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Evelay, for coloring this with me. And then for me, okay. I don't know what I was thinking in this one. I keep making my water really dark, and I think it needs to be maybe a little bit lighter. But I did like her. Again, another green witch. I often don't make my mermaids green, which is interesting because they are under the sea and they're usually depicted as green, but I usually make them all every other color but green. But this one I just kind of wanted to do all green and make her skin green and everything. And then I used the green super golden marker that's in there. And I did her eyes and her hair and her body and everything. And is it catching? And then, of course, the black sakura for this pumpkin. And I still had no idea how to color pumpkin. So it's just alcohol markers with paint pen over the lines. I think it works for a cartoon, but I had not yet in this part of my Halloween journey figured out how to color a pumpkin. And then I just kept going and going and going with this coral. I finally decided it all needed to be outlined. I think the problem is the colors. I'm not sure the colors go together very well, but it is a very colorful page. But then I did the owl kind of muted, although I really like the owl's eyes. I'm never quite sure. How do you guys treat these eyes that have all these different compartments to them? What do you do for them? Do you do all of them in different colors and then leave one white like I did? I'm never quite sure what to do with them. And I think all the characters in this book have eyes like that. Yeah. And except those didn't, but a lot of them do. And I'm not exactly sure what to do with that kind of an eye. So let me know what you do with them. But this was fun. This book is, I mean, it's adorable. It's fun. There are some Christmas mermaids in here, and so I'm going to have fun with this one at Christmas. But and this one, in case I didn't say, was also a gift from Sarah. So I love this book so much. All right, that was finally the last one I did out of that particular book. Then I had I decided to do something at a dark art supernatural. Now, in my October plans, I said I was going to do the Wendigo page, and which is the very first page in this book. Yeah, so I did. But when I said I was going to do it, a ton of people said they wanted to do it too. So there is a whole group that ended up doing the Wendigo page. So when I get done telling you about my page, I'm just going to play them all. Because there was a lot, and there's still a couple people in the group who are working on theirs. So this was a popular page. I didn't realize that many people had this book. Francois Gautier, as you know, as we've talked about when I entered these books into my inventory, is a very busy artist, but this book is the least busy. Now, I don't have Nightmare, although a sneaky little subscriber told me that I shouldn't buy it and I should just wait for a second. So maybe it's coming. I don't know. So I haven't flipped through that one. So I don't know if it's like this, where it's busy but colorable, or if it's like his older ones, which are not colorable at all. They're just way too busy. I think this one's so cool. But this one is busy. This is a cool, I saw a lot of people did this one last year. But the lines are light, so they're easy to go over. So, and the paper's thick and one-sided. So come on, you can use anything on it. So what I did here is the background was already black, which is what made this a really appealing page to do. This is all alcohol markers. There is no pencil in this at all. And then the only other thing I've got in it is some acrylic paint pen. Like there's some white on his antlers to make his antlers really stand out. There's some, anything that's sparkly. There's like this here. That's the red super golden marker. Because you can see it flashes red and gold. And then there's some acrylic, a little bit of acrylic paint pen covering like those fluorescent mushrooms are a paint pen. There's some paint pen in these mushrooms covering lines. And then this green grass. Yeah, some of the mushrooms have paint pen and some are just alcohol markers. But that's it. There's no pencil shading at all. It's all alcohol marker shading. And I really liked it. I didn't know what to do him, so I did everything else, hoping that I would get inspired. Now, Wendigos are my favorite cryptid to color, which, who knew I would have a favorite cryptid to color? But I do. And there are a lot of them. I've already colored 3 in 3 different books, and I found some more looking through my books that I'm going to be coloring. I'm on a goal to find all the Wendigos in all my coloring books and color them. If you don't know, they're a Native American cryptid, a mythology. They aren't the nicest of guys. And they're often depicted as having this skull with the antlers and sort of a long, lean, tall, upright animal body. They're often depicted with fur here and here, and then just sort of like skin. They're often depicted a lot like this. And they are not something you want to run into. So they're kind of alien-like too. So I put a bunch of, stars in his eyes and put a lot of red on him. He's got red feet and red hands. So I really enjoyed doing this page. But of course, I love doing all the pages in this book. I mean, I've done a few. This book is really, this has glossy accents everywhere. It's bumpy and glitter. I like to feel this one. But the paper in this book is very smooth, so markers work well. I don't know if I've ever used pencils. Is there pencil in this one? No, this is just alcohol markers again. I know this one's just alcohol markers, so I've never used pencils in these pages, so I don't know how they work, but oh, God, there's so much. Oh, I love this one. So many great pages in this book. This is a wonderful book. This is my favorite one of his that I have. I don't count Dimensions. Dimensions is its own class, but of the dark arts, he has dark art, he has Gothica, he has supernatural, and now he has Nightmare. Dark art is completely uncolorable, and then dark art Gothica is tough. They're great images. They're just so detailed that you'd have to use fine liners. This is the first one that's the most colorable. And but I do have them all because I love his artwork. That's dark art. Okay. We had no more out of that one this month. Then we had, this one was so much fun. This book, if you don't have this book, you need this book. No one is still talking about this book. I don't understand why this book isn't the most popular book on the planet. It's single-sided, it's thick paper, and the artwork by Talbreath is phenomenal. I mean, so intricate, yes, but so beautiful. I mean, so easy to color too. Once you start figuring things out, I want to do every single page in here. And there's men in here, there's water, there's air. I mean, it's all kinds of fairies. And I did this one. So this was my first one out of this book. And Candice finally watched a tutorial on pumpkins. Yes, she did. Your girl learned how to color a pumpkin. So I will put the name of the artist. This is the name of the artist YouTube channel. She is a Copic alcohol marker artist, amongst other things, but she does a lot of Copic tutorials. She has an online school where you can take, you can watch recorded lessons and stuff. I found it to be very expensive though, for what it was. So I didn't pay for the extended tutorial. What she also does is she'll do a sort of a condensed tutorial where she's just talking about the markers and coloring this in the kind of in the background. So I just watched really intently. And it was a video of hers. She was talking on how to color glowing, how to make a glow. And she used the pumpkin as an example. And she even says at the beginning of the video that this is not the full tutorial, but you're smart, so you can watch this and figure it out. That's what she says. So she talks about that to make things look like they're glowing, it's not so much in what you use in the glow, it's what you use around the glow. And it needs to be dark. The darker you go around the glow, the more the glow will look like it is glowing. So, and in her example, she does a pumpkin. So I just followed her tutorials and with alcohol markers, which was really helpful, and pencil. So these also have pencil on top. So I use my Copics, and then I use polychromos, my polychromos pencils, which thank you, Sarah. Those are just the cream of the crop. And yes, they take some time. That's a lot. It's more colors than what you would think, and it's darker colors than what you would think, and it's based in lavender. The dark parts are based in a lavender color, kind of a light purple, and then you go over it with different colors. And I highly recommend watching it. It's not a very long video, but it is super jam-packed full of information about how to make things look like they're glowing. So I used this page since there are so many pumpkins in it, to practice. And they got better and better as they went on. I think this was my last one I did. And I tell you, it worked, I think. I got a lot of compliments about these pumpkins. And thank goodness I finally watched a tutorial, because my pumpkins were sad in the first half of the month. So yeah, check out that artist. She's great. I would imagine that her classes are good, but they really are kind of expensive. So I'm just going to watch her mini videos and see if I can pick up more tips. Then this was with Christina's Art Corner and Juliet Colors. So first I'll finish talking about mine, and then I'll show you theirs. Again, it's all alcohol markers. There's pencil on the pumpkins. I wanted this, once I saw the tutorial, and once I did my first pumpkin, which I think was this one of these two, I decided I wanted the page to be all about the pumpkins. And Christina started first, and she had really good advice. Her advice was do the background and then do the pumpkins and work your way towards the witch. And it made it much easier to see where the witch started and stopped, right? Because when it was, it looked like this. And it's like, what's what? I can't even tell what's what. I was overwhelmed. So start with the background, get that out of the way, and then that kind of defines the leaves and stuff. Then do that part, and then that defines your center focal point, which is kind of the way all of these pages work. So that's what I'm going to do, how I'm going to tackle all of these pages. It sure made it easy. I mean, I had no problems once I did that. Once I framed it in, I had no problems once I got to the witch. But after I did these pumpkins, I'm like, yeah, this page is going to all be about pumpkins. Plus, I didn't have any more gas left in me to do anything fancy with the witch. These pumpkins took a lot. But I also didn't want the witch to compete with the pumpkins and make it just too much. So I made her very, very dull with just varying shades of gray. There's a blue gray, like a dark gray, and then a green gray. And I just sort of mixed that up. Again, I made her green. Wow, how many alphabas did I make this month? I guess I didn't realize I was doing that to so many pages. That's 3 now. And then I used a little bit to just jazz her up a little bit. I put some black Sakura glaze pen and some silver super golden marker on her shoes and up around her face on her hat. And that was it. And I think this is my favorite page of the month just because of the glowing pumpkins. So this made me realize I need to watch more tutorials. It also re-energized my coloring. Having this, learning a skill and then putting it to use and seeing that it worked got me so excited to do more of that. And I think it's bringing my coloring up another level. So, I had not been watching tutorials. I figured, I'll just experiment and figure it out on my own. Yeah, what happens is you get in a rut of doing just what you're comfortable with. And after doing 3 or 4 pages of pumpkins that looks just ridiculous, looked like a 5-year-old drew them, colored them, I decided that I needed to make a better pumpkin. And I'm so glad I did. So now I'm going to look at other colorists that are teaching, effects rather than, I can watch a color along, but for like a whole page, but I really just want to pick up certain techniques. And sometimes the techniques are kind of glossed over in color alongs. You're just sort of watching them color, and they pay more attention to the colors they're using, like which colored pencils, than the technique they're using. And I'm not so interested in knowing what colors someone used. I want to know how they're using those mediums. So I'm definitely going to look up more effect tutorials. But this was a lot of fun. And I actually kept this out for November, although I didn't plan anyone. I was thinking of this one. This is like the Wicked Queen. She's got apples all around here, and I thought that would be fun for fall. And I may have time to get to another one. This book, wow, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So let's look and see what Christina and Juliet did. So Christina finished hers first, and here's hers. And it's stunning, like Christina is. And she braved the way. None of us had colored in this book yet. So we hadn't cracked the code yet. And it was Christina who really figured it out, how to tackle these pages the easiest way. And she was very busy that month. She was flying to another coast, and she was, busy with family and all kinds of stuff. And she took the book with her. And so she was very dedicated to getting her buddies done. And I thank you so much, Christina. You never have to, if you buddy with me, you're never pressured to finish by the end of the month. Although I would like you to let me know. I did have one buddy never tell me, they just disappeared. But I would like you to let me know you're not going to finish, and then I'll just go ahead and post mine on Instagram. But it's fine if you don't finish. I'm going to do the page anyway. And, if you ever finish it, you could show me. That'd be great. I'd love to see it. But I also am perfectly fine with you never finishing it. And then here is Juliet. And the 3 of us had such a nice time in the chat room, just figuring out this page and this complicated artist style, and oohing and ahhing over the process because the paper is really good, especially for markers, and a real joy to color in. And we both, once we all got started, we kind of went through the page kind of quickly just because it was so much fun to work on. It really was. It's with nothing fighting you, and you can just You know, the markers just glide on the paper. It's really a joy to color. So thank you, ladies. Let me know if you ever want to do another one out of here. I really am going to try to do one this month because I can't get enough of this book, but we'll see if I get to it. All right. Let's see what I did next. If you're wondering what the heck I'm wearing, it's pajamas. Because for 2 days I haven't gotten out of pajamas. I just get changed into clean pajamas because that's where I'm at. Yokai, Strange and Frightful Yokai Coloring by Davey Ukasa. Dave Ukasa. You all know I love this crazy book. And several of you got it after I did a flip through where I laughed my butt off the entire time. And Kathy from True Not Cat, here's her Instagram. She also got this book and loves it. So we're just slowly at our own pace working our way through it. So this month we did the Kodama. And let me show you mine. Here. So these are gentle forest spirits. These are one of the very few in this book that aren't going to eat you or ejaculate on you or do something crazy on you, because this book is nuts. And so because this paper is essentially one-sided, it's not super thick, but it's nice paper. It's got a little tooth, and it's pretty smooth, but it's got a little tooth. I feel like I can experiment in it. So experiment did I. I used mostly paint in this one. This is, tell me I wrote it down. Yes. This is Himi gouache. Now I bought that giant, what is it? It's over here. 90? How many colors in it? 112 colors. It's like huge. And so I've been dipping into that quite a bit to learn the colors. And so I did these. I did the sky and the trees in that Himi gouache. I love those colors. If you're seeing little spots, it's because I fixed it with a spray that it didn't come out as fine as it usually comes out. This tree I did with it's gouache too. Yeah. And then acrylic paint pen. This is gouache and acrylic paint pen. Gouache and acrylic paint pen. Then this is that Kuretake granulating. Sorry I bumped you. It's this stuff. This I am in love with. It's $20 for 5 colors. It's ridiculous. But oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And they don't look like anything in here. They're just like various shades of brown. But no. Here they are swatched. Where's my swatch? Where's my swatch? Don't mind my arm. Okay. Here's what they turn out to be. Look at that. Oh, they're so sexy. I have a video on these. So if you want to actually see them coming off the pan and being colored with and everything. And here's where I use 2 of them. So the Aurora Orange and the Aurora Red is what I ended up using. And look at it. I just love them. It's perfect for stonework because it's got that kind of blue shine to it. And then I use some paint pen to re-outline the rocks. But I just think that is the star of this. The rest of it's a little strange, but that was a really good experiment. And then I did the Aurora Orange here. The Aurora Orange is a little bit trickier. I love the way it turned out here because I was thinking, dirt, and I wanted to make it splotchy and stuff. I used it in another page where I thinned it out more, and it looks completely different. These paints are, depending on how much water you use, they can look very different from application to application. But look at the way they shine. That's just the paint. And then there's some shiny acrylic in there, but look at those rocks. I just love these granulating watercolors. I had a hard time not using them on everything, as you will see. Once I got them out, this was the first page I used them on. So this is a little, and then I was just done with the page, so I just sort of threw in some colors here. I kind of phoned it in for that stuff, but I do like my little alien guys with their black Sakura glaze eyes, and I wanted to make them look kind of like they were glowing. So this was a fun page. So let me put this aside and let me show you Kathy's. So here's Kathy's. Isn't it gorgeous? It like almost looks realistic. Like it looks like, I mean, she really was thoughtful about it. I went more fanciful, but hers is really, like I say, easy on the eyes. She's got a beautiful coloring style, and I absolutely loved it. I think we both really enjoyed the page. And so thank you, Kathy, so much for coloring this book with me, because I want to color every page in this book. I hesitate to go so far as to say it's a project book, because project books usually, most people interpret that to mean you're working on it every month. I can't work on the same book every month. I can't do that. I get tired of it. And I have so many books I want to color in. But I do have, well, I don't know. I do have a few books that I want to color every page in. And that's this one. So this is one in there. And so Kathy and I are doing that. And we're not pressuring ourselves. We picked 3. We're picking 3 at a time. And when we both finish those 3, or we're ready to move on, we pick another 3. So this one, so you saw this in my November plans, because the other 2, and Kathy picked the first 3. The other 2 are the Itsumade, which is, I'm going to do this month. This one is, this one's really sad. It's kind of where I feel right now with the politics. They fly over areas where suffering and death are rampant, especially if there's nothing being done to alleviate the pain. So that's what they are. So I think I'm going to do that one this month. I wasn't sure what order I wanted to do them in. The other one we're doing is, nope. Kathy, in the next 3 that I pick, that's going to be one of them. What is he doing? I don't know. What is it? Who knows? It is the Kendatsuba, this guy. And this is a pretty nice guy, too. They like music and dancing, and they're messengers of the gods, and they protect children, so they're a good guy. So that's the other one that's in our first trio. So when we get around to finishing these 3, we'll move on to another 3. I like that. I feel like I don't have a lot of pressure to do it, and we can do them in whatever order we want. So, but I'm more in the mood of this sorrowful beast, so I think that's the one I'm going to do for this month. Yay! I adore this book. This is one of my very favorite books in the collection. And just looking at the cover makes me laugh, remembering what it was like flipping through this with you all. So that's going back into my November pile. Okie dokie. Then I decided to do some more fun ones. Of course, everything is fun in Halloween. And the artist formerly known as Disney Megs, who's now Meg's Coloring Corner, wanted to do something at a nice little town Halloween. And she sent me a bunch of choices. All of them I had already finished, because this is my most colored in book. I mean, I started at the beginning, and I've done lots and lots and lots. And when we entered this book in my inventory, you got to see all these. So, but yeah, I absolutely love this book. And she wanted to do, so there was only one in her selection that I hadn't done. So that's the one we did. And girlfriend used her tutorial to make this pumpkin. But because it was a house, I made it less like a jack-o'-lantern and just sort of added some glowing effects to it, with using the same colors that I used, because I just thought they were pretty, and I really like it. It became the star of the show, of course. And this page, I'm so glad you got the joke, Meg. I saw in her completed pages video that she got the joke of the lamb. You know, because he's dressed up as Hannibal Lecter. He's got a moth, emblem on his suit, and he's got the mask, of course. But then his balloon is a lamb with 2 Band-Aids over the mouth. Silence of the Lambs. It's such a funny page. But then there's a real monster that's coming. I can't tell if it's coming out of the stem, like the stem's a chimney, or if it's coming from behind the pumpkin. I don't know if that's meant to be like he's coming out of the stem. But he has a needle, and he's about to pop that balloon. So I don't know what's going on here. But I made it very dark, like, you know, he's trick-or-treating at night. He's going out, leaving his house. I loved these bags I just pretended they had they were like those bags that you put candles in. I love these little guys down here. I mean, this book is just, I think this is Tatiana at her finest, this book is, because it's just so easy to color, but yet there's so many things. There's no pages that are just like boring. Every page has a character in it, and they're all dressed up and doing something for Halloween. So it's just, every page in here is great. And I'm sad that I'm halfway done with it because I love this book so much. So, so we did that. So let's look at Disney Meg's, or I did it. I knew I would do that, Meg's Coloring Corner. And hers is so cute too. It's so pretty. She always colors so prettily. She even makes her monsters look pretty. And I was actually surprised she picked Hannibal Lecter because I know she doesn't like scary movies. But somehow Tatiana makes even Hannibal Lecter cute. And so I just loved it. It's very, very Meg, very, very Meg, that page is. And absolutely beautiful. It's so fun. I love doing buddies with Meg. Her pages are always so nice and so pretty. So thank you. Meg, I know you had a really busy month and that you are behind. You were saying you were behind on your buddies and you're doing a catch-up month. So I'm really honored that you chose to finish our buddies this month because they sure were fun. So that's Nice Little Town, Halloween. Oh, I'm tempted to keep this one out. And now I'm like trying to ration the pages because I love this book so much instead of hurrying to get it done. Okay, the next one I did was out of this wonderful book, Happy Cats, Angela Gonzalez, The Artist We Love, The Paper We Hate. We all know this paper is horrible. It's like newsprint and tissue paper had a baby. It's awful. But of course, how can we resist her? I mean, her artwork is so great. And if she ever puts her books on PDF, I'm there in a heartbeat. So this was, I had two buddies with this. And my buddies were Veronica Dunn, 66. So Veronica, who always finishes her pages way early before everybody else. And Mindy at Coloring with Cats Among Orchids. And we did this one. Now, I had watched the tutorial, but I decided that for this book with this paper, I wasn't going to do that one because it takes a lot of layers. And I wasn't so sure how well that would work with this paper. But this does have a lot of layers on it. And I just was really wanting a different looking pumpkin. This one has no glow because it's not carved. So I thought, well, I'm just going to use a different palette and try to make a different type of pumpkin. So I used various magentas and violets in here, all alcohol markers, nothing else. I think you could use some shine and bling, but I didn't do any. I like this color, and I wish I'd written down the combinations. I don't write down combinations. I wish I had, because the color I used for the middle of it is gorgeous. And I don't know what color that was. I'll have to find it. I don't recognize it. But I like coloring this Angela Gonzalez. I think her pages are really fun, really easy. I straight color, no pencils, because again, this is a book that's just for an easy win, mindless coloring. It's just choosing colors. There's no technique involved. And I love it. I know a lot of you are getting those cozy, comfy, Huga, cute type books. I've stayed away from those because so many of them are AI. So many of them are new artists, which are really just a publishing company using AI, and that's why they're all looking alike. There's only a couple of them out there. There's only a few out there that are by a real artist. but they're also, I have books like, I have Matchstick Mouse, I have this, I have the Angela Gonzalez. I have so many books that are easy wins that I just don't think I need more. I'll just color these because I feel like these are very much like those books. Just simple, easy, fun stuff. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at that. How easy how much simpler can you get? I don't know. This book cracks me up. I love it. This was also a gift. This was a gift from Mindy. Thank you, Mindy. Now let's look at Mindy's. So this is Mindy's, her cat. And I'm pretty sure I got Mindy's. For some reason, I'm not remembering it off the top of my head. This was early on in the month. I did mine later. I was the last one to finish. If I don't have Mindy's, it won't be here. But if I do have Mindy's, it will be. And I like buddying with Mindy because she is really imaginative. She's a lot like her sister, who is Kay Carey. They are both extremely imaginative when it comes to their pages. And Carrie Kay, she adds things to pages and alters pages, and Mindy just takes it to another level. So they're both very, they spend a lot of time with their page, and it really shows. They really think about how to make it different than the page before. So I love budding with them. And then we have Veronica, who of course finished hers first. I tease her that she's the fastest colorer in the West. And she does a lot out of this book. So this was one of her masterpieces out of this book, and it's adorable. Per usual, and all in colored pencil, I believe. And it was really fun buddying with you. I buddy a lot with Veronica, and I always enjoy it. I'll set up group buddies, and she'll DM me and say, "Can I join?" And then she'll end up joining all of them. She's everybody's favorite colorist. She's just such a sweet lady. Okay, then I did another Matchstick Mouse Halloween. This one was with Kits and Caboodles, who we don't buddy enough together. We've buddied a few times, but we need to buddy more. And we did the hanging laundry one in here. Have you guys seen that one? Oh my gosh, it is so adorable. It's this one. Now I made mine very dark because I thought, oh, it's at night. There's stars and stuff. This was before I saw a tutorial on how to make things transparent. So this was just me guessing by making it a lighter shade of what the background is. And then this time I thought about, hey, maybe I should outline it in white. I'm getting closer to making it look like things are transparent. I get there later in the month because I watched another tutorial. But here again, I'm using that same glowing effect that I learned, just a little bit altered since I didn't make the inside of the pumpkin glowing, but made the outside glow as if like the stars were shining off of it. And then I just made everything else really dark. I was having a lot of fun drawing attention to the pumpkins once I figured them out. I'm like, look at my new skill. Woohoo! I'm going to do it in every page. So let's look at, who did I say this with? Kits and Caboodles. Let's look at hers. I love the way she did her clothes and her sky. I just think it's neat. I was thinking that's how you do a ghost hanging from the washing machine, from the laundry line. Excuse me. And I love the way she did her, the vegetation and the way it all just goes together. You can see it all. Mine's very dark, but I love it. It was really pretty. And we just had so much fun. I think we both had a good time doing this page. She picked out this page and I was thrilled because I think it's hilarious. Because who hangs out your laundry at night? I'm thinking maybe she's going out to get her laundry. Because how many times I've hung my laundry out during the day and then forgot about it. And then like at midnight, I'm like, oh crap, the laundry's out there. Or the next morning, and then it's wet again from dew. So I'm not the world's most successful hang the laundry out. I do it all summer long, but it often stays out there for a day or two until I remember to bring it in. Okay, so that was Matchstick Mouse. And I don't know if that was the last one I hear, so I'm going to leave it out. I might come across another page. But the next one I did was I worked in Alien Worlds. Yay! And I finished the Lost Paradise. Now, if you've watched my inventory of entering in my Kirby books, you've seen this. So yes, here's my ship. My ship is SS Close Call. I'm Captain Catastrophe. And if what I'm talking about is new to you, see my pajamas? They're so soft and fuzzy. If what I'm talking about is new to you, then I run a group of about, gosh, like 60 colorists now who are coloring in this book. We all started with the Lost Paradise, which is the first planet. Most of us started with outfitting our ship first. And we name our ship. We have space names. We get in our ships. We fly to the Lost Paradise. We collect data. And when we're done collecting data there, we fly to whatever other planet on the agenda looks good to us. And we're flying to all the planets. Some of us are looking ahead and some of us aren't. Because we are the explorer and we're exploring along. But as we're getting into this book, I mean, there's 60 of us. There's some fantastic renditions of pages. Now, the hashtag is the Alien Worlds Data Report. So you've probably been seeing these around. And Soraya, at Soraya Colors, she's putting together compilation videos. So you can see all of ours. And this was mine. My ship is very retro, 70s. I don't know if you've caught all of them that have been posted, but for example, Jamie from Jamie's Coloring Love, she has her 3 kids as if they were chibis, little chibi astronauts that are sitting in there. One of the colorists has a dead astronaut floating outside. I mean, it's just like everybody's having such a good time. It's such a great group of people. Really, really fun. Very supportive, lots of fun. And you don't have to do pages you don't want to do. You don't have to do this page if it doesn't call to you. Just skip it. It's your space journey. So you do it at your own pace and whatever you want to do. But you've just got a whole group of people. And many of us were frightened of this book or thought maybe it wasn't our favorite Kirby. But almost everyone in the group who's coloring has become completely addicted. It's hard to not keep going just because you have everybody doing the same book and so many people doing the same book in different ways. So my asteroids look like this, where other people's asteroids, someone made their asteroids look like candy. It was really neat. And this is my Lost Paradise. So this was the color palette I chose. I'm doing mine in order. So this was the first page I came across. So I chose the color palette, and then here's me and the SS Close Call. And this was my first look at the planet. And then I get in closer to all the creatures. So here's the solar giant up close. Here's the apex predator. And again, I kept the same palette. So by about here, I was kind of getting tired of the palette. Then I did the sentient being, and instead of being a protector of the forest, I made her a parasite that sucks all the life force of everything around it. Because of course I did. And then these little creatures, I don't know if they're evil or not, but I don't want to get to know them. And then that was the last one for this planet. So this is what I did in October, was these guys. Now, all of these pages are Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, and then, which are basically just sticks of watercolor that I use a wet paintbrush to take off and paint with it. And then if there's pencil on top, which some of the pages have pencil and some don't, this one does not. I think there's a little bit in the aliens, but this page has a lot around in here to try to give some depth and dimension to all those little bits. Kirby likes his little bits. And then the super golden markers for the shiny stuff. This is the orange one, and the yellow, the gold that I don't have anymore because it's out. And this was the last page to finish for this planet. So now I've moved on, and I'll give you a sneak peek. I moved on to the air planet, and I went completely different. I went pastels, which I never color pastels. And I decided I wanted to try the Hime. I have it put away, but not Hime. Yes, Kuretake. Kuretake Gansai Tomby watercolors. They're in those big square pans. And the only ones I have are the Art Nouveau set. So I thought I'm just going to use that set only as my palette. That way it's easy peasy. Any color off, because it's already a curated palette and all the colors go together. The problem is they bleed through. I had no idea. I didn't think watercolor bled through, but these do, every color. So I'll be able to fix this page. I'll do it in acrylic so that I can cover all that up. I got the hiccups. Excuse me. I had to take a drink to try to get rid of my hiccups. So, yeah, I'm not worried about this. I'll cover it up with acrylic, but I am sad that I did all this and now I can't use that medium. I have no idea why they bleed through. It must have something to do with the Tomby formula and the fact maybe that they use natural ingredients like honey and stuff. I don't know. So I started going over it with a Tuliart pastel set that I have. So I started going over it with that, and I'll probably use a lot of that plus acrylic paints for the rest of this planet. Now, I've seen some people who were started on this planet, and pretty much all the ones I've seen, they're also doing pastels. And I wanted to do something different, but all I can see when I look at this is like pinks and blues and purples. It's an air planet, so it just makes sense with air to just be all these light colors. So, and I'm sad I won't be able to use all these Nouveau colors, because aren't they pretty? This side I haven't put any paint pen on. Isn't it pretty? Those Art Nouveau colors are just gorgeous. That's the type of pastel I can get behind. Kind of a muted pastel. But I'll have to find other ways to make those colors. Probably just mixing acrylic paint. Because I only have 3 of the Tim Holtz watercolor sets. I might have some of these colors I could dupe in there. But I loved this background pink for the sky. I don't know how I'm going to replicate that without it being... But did that bleed through that much? It was mostly the darker colors that bled through. All of this bled through. And all of the green and some of the blue. Looks like the pink didn't. So maybe I can get away if I'm careful. Because I'd like to do that pink again, although this sky is more cloudy. So yeah, I'm at the air planet now, and I'm working on that. I love this book. I didn't love it that much. I mean, I thought it was amazing in his swan song, but I didn't know how to color it until I put together this little group, and then we all got together and started working on it, and now it's a joy. It's hard not to work on it all the time. In fact, I'm going to keep it right by me because I want to work on that. Okay. All right. This one. Oh, my goodness. Karolina Kubikowska, Circle of Nature. Can you get a prettier book? I don't know. This one, there's, let's see, a group of us did one in September, and then we decided to do one in October, and then we decided to do one in November. So it's just sort of becoming a thing. I already finished my November one. This is also a gift from Sarah. Sarah completely spoils me rotten. And I love her so much. And I'm so glad I got to see her. But we did The Cat with the Cauldron. Oh, that's November's. That's the one I just finished for November. This one. Now, in here, you see a lot more of that Kuretake Ganzai stuff. You see both both the new sets I got. Because I got, not only did I get the granulated watercolors, I also got the graphite colors, which are, you know, that dingy muted colors. I love them so much. So here I have, this is all in paint. The granulating is this background, and it's the violet one, and I hadn't used that yet, so it's kind of purpley. I really, really like it very, very much. So that's where the granulating is. And then I did the rest of these colors are, oh, the mushrooms are the granulating orange. But then, and see here, it looks almost greens. I mean, you don't even see much of the orange. I tell you, you never know what's going to happen with these colors, and that's what I love. The rest of these are all graphite colors. Like this is the graphite greeny color and the graphite or graphite blue, graphite green. These are all, and then some of them have paint pen over them or pencil over them to give them dimension. Now, the smoke is pencil. It might be based in something, but in a watercolor marker, but I think it's all pencil. And then again, that gold, super golden marker that I used up. And then the cat, did the cat last and I was tired. So I was doing them various grays and I'm like, you know what? And then I grabbed a gray instead of being gray, it was silver. And I'm like, I'm going to go with that. So I did some silver fur in there. So he is really shiny. And then I did his eyes, a little bit of white over the eyes. So it looks like they're whited over, but you could still see the pupils in there. So they just look like they're kind of creepy. So I kind of like him though. I like him that he shines like that. I didn't really know what to do with him, but he has a third eye. I mean, he's totally a spirit cat. So I figured I could do whatever I wanted. This paper will take anything. And although it's single-sided and I could use alcohol markers, I can't bring myself to, so I haven't yet. Because I don't want to be able to see anything on the other side. It's such a beautiful. Plus, it's challenging me to find ways to not use alcohol markers. So the people in this group who did this page were Dana at Dabbler D, Shelley at Weaver Shelley, and Veronica Den 66. So here are their pages. Aren't they beautiful? Every page in that book is gorgeous. And I could see myself doing everything I have of Karolina Kupakowska. There's no page he's ever done that I wouldn't color. All right. Now, A Million Little Monsters turned into a little group too, that we did something in September and then we did something in October. And I think some folks were going to do something in November, but 2 months in a row of Lulu Mayo is enough for me. I absolutely love her artwork. This paper drives me nuts. No matter what I use, I have a problem with it. So I'm tempted to get rid of all my Lulu Mayo at this point because I just don't enjoy the process. But what we did was this one. This time, every time I try something different, this time I tried a different set of water-based markers. And I think it was... Oh, it was my new ones. The Color. I bought the Color water-based markers based on Coloring Oasis. She did a review on them. And they are very pigmented. They are. And I think they're a little less streaky. I mean, look at that. That's not too bad. That's terrible. But this isn't too bad. It's not too streaky. They just don't... Water-based markers don't blend. They just don't. By the nature of them being water-based. Alcohol markers blend. Water-based markers don't blend. And I knew that going in. But look, I was able to get some pretty good non-streaky. I mean, this page was to explore those cooler water-based markers. And I have Ohuhu, which I hate. I have Monian, which I got that are cheaper than Ohuhu, which are better. And then I have the Color, and the Color is the best for not streaking. Yeah, it really is, if you're careful. So not bad, but bled through. If you put enough layers on it for it not to be streaky, it bleeds through. That's a problem. So this page would have to be done in acrylics. And I guess I can't use those colors because I'm not going to put less layers on because then you see the streak. So there's a couple coats, right? This is a couple different directions I went to try to get it not streaky, and it bled through the paper. See, that's what I mean. This paper is just good for nothing. The only thing that works on it is a very few pencils, like polychromos works in here. I don't know of any other pencil sets that do. Maybe your Prismas do. I don't know. I don't have Prismas, but nothing else does. Watercolor bleeds through. Acrylic works. This is mostly pencil, but I don't want to do pencil work. So, and I know a lot of pencil colorists get frustrated with this paper too. So I did the background in, it's a stencil, and that's some black soot distress ink. And there's some paint pen up in here. But yeah, I want so badly to be able to do these pages. And if it was on like normal paper, even Amazon paper, I would do it. But for some reason, this paper hates everything. It really hates watercolor. It hates water-based medium. I mean, I'd love to do every page in here. So I don't know. Lulu, find different paper. But I want to show you my buddies. This was a group with a lot of people in it. So I'm just going to run the reel right here. Aren't they great? Everybody gets so creative with Lulu Mayo, and I'm always impressed when people can get it to work. The next one I did was out of Dimensions. Now this has, without me even trying, has become a group. Turns out a lot of people got this book, and just sort of recently. And because I have talked a lot about this book, a lot of people reached out to me like, okay, I've got it. Now how do I color in it? And so I had people wanting to buddy with me pages, and we've just sort of stuck with it. Now, this is a book I could do every month just because it only takes me like 45 minutes to do a page. They're really fast and easy. This is the 3D book. And basically, I mean, the best medium is alcohol marker. And you just run alcohol marker over it, and the shading is done for you. So this is very few, you just use the same color. You don't have to change colors or do any shading. The shading's already there for you. So yeah, so like for here, you just take one color, and you know, you don't have to worry about coloring a darker color in here because it's already dark. So when you're done, and I even wouldn't really recommend any shading because you might take away some of the 3D effect because it's there for a reason. So this group has turned out to be, it's gotten bigger and bigger. It was just a couple of us. It's gotten bigger and bigger. And now it's a Dimensions group. So if you have Dimensions and want to color, we are basically picking a page every month because these pages are pretty easy. Now, almost everybody, and I'll tell you right now, is daunted when they first see these pages. They're like, oh, I could never do that. That's so intricate. But understand, you're not going to be coloring every little thing. You certainly can, but you won't be shading anything. So yeah, just color away and have fun with it. And then the shading's all done for you and you're done. So it's pretty much straight coloring. Now in this group, people have been experimenting. Someone did one in pencils. It looked really good. You couldn't see the shading as much though through the pencils because pencils are more opaque. Water-based markers work. Alcohol markers are the most popular choice with everybody, and they're all that I use in here. And I think someone tried some watercolor paint and liked it. The paper can handle it. It's just, will the effects show through? You need a transparent medium. So what we did for October was this one. This was a lot of trees. And so I didn't go very imaginative, but I did choose dark, although these were all shaded, and back here they're heavily grayscaled, I did also use darker and darker shades of brown because I really wanted to stress and make it look even further back. And then I chose this really bright green. Now see all that shading underneath the roots and the shadows on the roots? I didn't do that. That was already there. So this is just one color all the way back. I didn't do any shading. I didn't do any shading in this whole thing. And then I did red leaves. You know, I really like the little weasel. He's just brown. I left his belly white. There's a fox back there that's all wrong. I like the owl. The squirrel kind of glows because I found a really light yellow brown that looks really nice. And then when I got all done with all these browns, I didn't want to do any more brown, so I just made the the stag white. And all I did was go over the lines with a white paint pen. I should have done something with the eyes. I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing with the deer. But that's sort of the effect I wanted. I didn't really know how to do the effect I wanted. But yeah, so that's what we did in October. And I'm going to show you everybody's. Let me see. I think it was just Lizbeth 47 and Sue at Bell Danny Designs. I think those were the only two that did this deer this month. But here is the deer. Aren't they great? If you're interested in coloring along, I mean, you don't have to do every month if you don't want to. We are actually really having a good time because some people are experimenting, some people aren't, and those of us that aren't are learning from those of us that are. So it's kind of fun. It's neat to see how these pages come together. And they really do. And actually in this book, I don't care what the image is. It isn't about what the image is to me. It's about the 3D effect when we're done. So, you know, I normally wouldn't color a page like this, but I'm definitely going to in this book because I want to see what it looks like when it's done. It's almost like those paint with water books. That's how I equate it. It's like you don't know what it's going to look like until you're done. So it's the same with this book. So these are really super easy pages to do, and they always come out looking good no matter what you do. So if you're interested, I would look at Book Outlet because this is an older book. Book Outlet, and I have it for real cheap. You also might be able to find on eBay and stuff. You can find it on Amazon, but you're going to pay full price there. If you want it cheaper, I would recommend, you know, eBay or probably Book Outlet. I think I've seen it there. Then I did another one in Annie Day. Now we're getting to the end, and this is my last one in Annie Day. And this one was with my friend Coos Life in Color, Kate. And we did, basically people were getting a hold of me and I'm like, just pick one that has to do with Halloween and I'll do it. And we did the Pumpkin Man one. Oh, I liked this page. I liked Morgan O'Brien's artistry in this page. I think it's more towards the back. Yeah. The Pumpkin Man. I thought this was so clever of Morgan O'Brien. I really, really did. It's like pumpkins, and I mean, I want to do that. Although these are pretty big if they're as tall as an aardvark, but I really like it. And this is just straight alcohol markers. That's all it is. I had fun with this, of course, purple. I don't know why. I think purple and orange go well together, but I also tend to go purple when I do witch hats and stuff. I gave her gray hair this time. I thought that was kind of fun. Like, you know, mod gray hair. And then she's wearing such cozy, fun clothes in this book. I've seen a lot of people do her coat red, and I think that's what influenced me to do it red. I really like it that way. And then I just kind of wanted to make everything more earth toned. And, oh, I didn't color her eye. I usually give color to her eye. I think I forgot. Yeah, so that's how I did. Now, the funny thing is Kate did hers. Let's look at Kate's. I think I did see hers before I colored mine. So maybe subconsciously I got influenced, but look how close they are. Especially Annie Day's clothes. So it could be that I, liked it so well that in the back of my brain, I just copied it. I wasn't intentionally meaning to copy hers, but they are fairly close, aren't they? Yeah. And so this was a fun page too. These pages are fast and fun, and it's all about just picking the palette. They're good ones for palette challenges. They're just good if you're in a slump. They're easy wins. You get it done. It looks great. And then you feel like coloring again. So thank you, Kate, for coloring with me. And that was the last one I did in Annie Day. What do I have marked here? Oh, I'm doing this for November. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yep. Okay, then we're at the last few. Wow, whipping through this. This book, which I don't color enough in. This book is chunky. I mean, there's 100 pages in here. And that's the one we did. And it's full of great Molly Harrison stuff. However, I find that, I don't know if it is the same way in all of her books, but in this book, her girl looks a lot the same. So maybe that's why this one looks different, but maybe that's why I don't color in it much, because there's a lot of the same girl, a lot the same pose. So I wouldn't color every page in here because too many of them are samey, but I like a lot of the pages in here. So Yolanda at Coloring Biker Mama and we did this one. I love buddying with Yolanda. She always picks great pages. And she's way, way too modest. Her coloring is fantastic. So I watched a tutorial on how to make things look transparent. And it's all about adding in the background behind it. It's not about just making a lighter color of the background. That hasn't seemed to work for me. You either color it in and then put like a light coating of white gouache over it to make it look like ghosty, or to make it really look transparent is you draw and color in the background behind it, which I did. All of this, I had to finish the cross, I had to finish the bushes, I had to add in the grass, and then I had to color it, and I colored it all the same colors, and then I went over the lines with white, and that's what gave it, and then I decided it needed gold too. So I know it's kind of messy looking because there was a lot of lines, but I hope it looks like she has a transparent cape on. I was thinking of it sort of like the invisibility cloak in Harry Potter. I think that's where I got the idea. I had to add more to the dress down here. So I hope it translates. That's what it's supposed to be, is an invisible cloak. It was fun adding in all the, I had to add in the fence posts. I had to draw all this stuff in. So that was kind of fun. But because of all the lines I had in it that I had to go over, it might be too busy. You might not see it that way, but I hope it shows through. This is a lot of fun bling with a super golden marker. And I really liked the hat done with a super golden marker. I hadn't done that before. And I like the colors that I chose for that. I like all the colors in this page. It came out the way I saw it in my head. From the moment I saw this page, I saw her in like an ombre purple dress, and for some reason a see-through cape. and yeah, so that's what I did. So let's look at Yolanda's. And again, so much fun to buddy with her. She can really color, and her gal, I love her cape, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it would have looked like if I hadn't messed with it. But I messed with it, so hopefully I didn't mess it up. But I thought it was great. I was so glad that she picked this page. I can't remember if she gave me a few to choose from, I can't remember. I think we had a few to choose from, but we both like this one the best. It's really cool because she's holding those pumpkin lanterns or something, and then she has the kitty cat, and I thought that was neat. So Yolanda, thank you so much. I'm glad that someone else has this book and felt like they needed to color in it, because I'm kind of embarrassed that I've only done 2 pages in this book. So thank you again for coloring with me, Yolanda. Yay. See, look at that kitty cat. I thought the kitty cat was great. A great addition in this page. Awesome. Now I have a few left, so let's see what they are. Okay. The next one's out of this book, which is now officially my favorite Mythagoria. Who knew that that I would ever be saying a book by Alessandra Fusi was my favorite one? But this book is gorgeous. Every page is a breath taker. I mean, it's not about the gore, it's about the beauty of horror. And this is one I did with Poet Spice a month ago. But every page is just dreadfully beautiful and full of emotion, just so well done. I mean, these are true works of art. Before this, it was Vengeful Forest that I loved, and I've still colored the most out of that one, and I love Vengeful Forest. And the other one I really, really love is Night Terrors by Fabiana Attanasio. But this one, oh, look at that. Yeah, see, this one takes it to a whole nother level with just poses that are unusual, looks that are unusual, things that are horrifying but also beautiful, expressions of love and lust, and just amazing pieces of artwork. Look at that one. I love that one. Every single page. This was one I really wanted to do as well this month. So what I did out of this one, now this was we did the Headless Horseman. Now this was with Tammy Colors 2, Juliet Colors, Paula, again, with Coloring Mum. Yeah, I think I did something earlier with her. Sarah, my friend Sarah Simi, and Cian at Theft Creates. Now, after I show you mine, I'll show you all of theirs in a reel. And we did, that's still a whip I haven't finished. We did the Headless Horseman. And your girl did her pumpkins again. So, hope you don't get sick of that technique, because that's how all my pumpkins are going to look. And it's funny because I had every intention of making this page all about the cape. But instead, it became all about the pumpkins again. Because I couldn't get enough. I was so thrilled with how well this technique works. I just couldn't stop using it. I did decide, everybody was making their horse a different color, which I thought was really cool. So I decided I wanted to make it the traditional black, but I had no idea how to. So what I did was I took a black alcohol marker and I colored everything, but wherever there was a line, or where there should be an accent, I didn't color. So I was very careful. So this is the white of the page, because I knew that if I colored it all black and then added white Posca, it would never be pure white. It would, or white paint pen, it would sort of fade and it would look like a white paint pen. I really wanted to make it look as the only way I need to do a tutorial, and I'm searching for one on how to color black animals. Because the only thing I could think of is the only way you could see the black in its definition would be by light shining on it. So I kind of just left these white streaks where there would be definition, like around the shoulder muscle, some light shining off of their legs. There wouldn't be light shining on his underside, but at least that gives the definition of the leg there. So I hope it works. It's a little shiny because it's been fixed, so I'm trying to keep the glare out of your eyes. I did the mane last, and I don't know about the mane. It makes it look now like a football mascot, but everything else is either alcohol marker or this is paint pen. The background is an alcohol marker that I made splotchy, alcohol marker and paint pen. The super gold. This is the orange from the super gold, and it's really orange. That's what this orange is. And the black is a Sakura Glaze pen. Look at that pumpkin. I like that one with the super golden marker coming out of it. And then I gave it orange stars. And so by the end of the day, the cape really didn't even work with the rest of the, I mean, it's not even really the right tone or shade. And it's so funny how this turned out, because I was literally going to make this cape like magnificent where your eyes went right to the cape. But No, your eyes go to the mane and the pumpkins. And I really like it. I like how it turned out. I love that the pumpkins glow for no reason whatsoever. And I think the horse works. The black with the white. But I am still looking for a tutorial because I'm doing a black rooster this month, and I really do need to know, really do need some good techniques for making an animal look black. So let me show you everybody else's. Weren't those fantastic? Everybody got so creative. The different colored horses, the horsemen. I mean, these were all very different. Sometimes I do buddies and we all kind of go the same direction. This one was not that. It was so cool. This was another group of buddies. This one had Cindy at Mindful Griff. It had Kim at I and My Pets Too. And I think maybe was that all? There might have been more. I thought there were more in that group that did this, but I think maybe that's all that did this one this month. This was an untouched book for me. All of my Hannah Carlsons have been gifts. This particular one, I write down who gives me my gifts, is from Carrie Kay Carrie, my friend. And this is one of my favorites. I think every page is amazing, and I love the way the two pages go together, and I think it's just very spiritual and very beautiful. So we chose a Halloween one. I thought it was near the beginning. Guess not. There it is. We chose this one, and then a couple of us ended up also doing this one. This one isn't finished. I was planning on doing it in November, but I started it in October and got about this far. So it's almost finished. All it needs is I need to finish with the granulating watercolor background and do some more sparkly stuff, and it'll be done. But I wanted to get the same color palette. On Hannah Carlson's, when the two pages go together, I tend to do them together so they look alike. But this is the one we did for October. Tell you the truth, I struggled with the color palette for this. I do that with these Hannah Carlson ones. It's like the paper is so good that the sky's the limit. And then I get into decision fatigue and I can't decide. I have so many ideas. So this one is several ideas smashed together, if you can't tell. It's got the Kuretake Gansai granulating watercolor. I think it looks like the violet one. And I thought that turned out really neat. That was fun to do because it's all about adding just enough water, but not too much to make it granulate. And so that one worked out pretty well. And then I did, what is the basing on this? AD water. Oh, Albrecht Dürer. I did use Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. Now, Sarah was giving me tips the other night on how to do them, but this was before I got those tips. What I do is I take the pigment off the pencil tip with a wet paintbrush, just like I do with Tim Holtz. It's slow going, but it does give me the coverage I like and the pigmentation I like. So a lot of this is based with that and then gone over with acrylic pens to add different effects like the sparkly leaves or just some, hat definition in the hat. Or down here, Secure Glaze pen made the black pentagram shiny. There's some shiny stuff down in these. So all the shiny stuff is acrylic. And so there's some of the definition, like there's a lot of acrylic in the broom here. That's pretty much all acrylic. But everything else is based in Albrecht Dürer or is just Albrecht Dürer, like this, her clothing is Albrecht Dürer. And then her hair is acrylic markers. I didn't know if the red and the purple would work. I just knew I wanted to give her red hair. And again, green skin. Wow. How many green witches did I make? That's 4? 4 green witches this month. I don't even remember making a conscious choice. Just all my witches. In fact, that's all the witches. Is that all the witches I did? They all were green. Huh. But I liked her green skin and red hair. I don't know if it works with the purple background, but you know, I don't hate this at all. It's odd. And then here I went like muted in pastels. But it's because I didn't have a palette in mind, and I was more going for the experience of it. I wanted to try Malbec d'Urs, and then I just kept adding more stuff on top, and I just sort of went with whatever color I wanted that day. And I think it's all right. I think it's strange. So then I had to continue those strange colors over here. So more Albrecht Dürer, granulating, more shiny stuff, the shiny golden markers. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to get another set of golden markers because, man, I use them a lot. And this one will be almost done, and then I'll have 2. So that's what we did. So let me show you what my 2 buddies did. I love Hannah Carlson's pages. They always turn out so beautiful. And my buddies really brought this up to another level. So thank you, ladies, everyone, for coloring with me. The next one, and that was an untouched book. This was also an untouched book. This was a gift from Stephanie Napolitan. Stephanie, I adore this book. Oh my gosh. I love the cover of it. I love all the pages in it. It's, you know, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon, and there's Frankenstein's monster, there's Frankenstein's bride, there's Dracula, there's the werewolf and the invisible man, and then just lots of pages of those characters. Now, this was a buddy with Paula at Coloring Mom, who is my spooky page buddy friend. She loves to do the spooky pages with me, and her work is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. If you have not seen the boar she did out of Vengeful Forest, you've got to go to her Instagram and go scroll back and look at it. But she picked my favorite page in the book, my favorite, and it's a double page spread, and it was the one with the creature from the Black Lagoon. This one. And I had so much fun doing this page. Oh, yes. This one is entirely done in paint. So it's Kuretake granulating, which is his skin here, and some of this in here, and Kuretake graphite. So it's those 2 paints again, the same ones I used on other pages. And I put them together to make his skin. And this is a graphite color. The leaves are a graphite color. And then these colors are, I think it's gouache, right? Yeah, I think it's got some gouache in here to make it, to get this color. Yeah, I have that color in gouache. And I just wanted to make the water look like it's glowing around him, but then dingy and dirty as you got further away. You know, it's a swamp. I think this page is brilliantly drawn with it all coming at you. So the composition of the page really works for you and makes a very terrifying page. So there wasn't much I could do to screw this page up, I felt. So I just went for it. I experimented. You know, this has got watercolors and then acrylic paint pen, or maybe it's all acrylic paint pen. It's crazy, and I loved it. This is paint, more of the gouache. And I had so much fun. This was very slow beginning. I started with him, actually. I usually start with the background. I started with the water, a little bit of the water, then I went straight to him. But once I figured out what I wanted, it went super fast. Yeah. So I hope you guys like it. I thought it was very frightening and very fun, and probably my favorite page to do this month. I don't know if it's my favorite pages this month, although I really do like it. It scares me every time. It jumps out at me every time I open the book, which I really enjoy. but it was definitely my favorite one to actually do. Now, I don't care for the finish of acrylic and Kuretake paint. It has like a dry, chalky finish to it, which I don't care for, but I love the way it looks, and I love using it, so I just don't touch it too much once it's done. But there's nothing blingy or shiny in here. It's all the effects of the glowing water, just using different colors paint. So I hope you like this. Let me show you Paula's. Now, Paula finished hers, gosh, it seems like it was like the first day of October. Like she started early because she just couldn't wait. Because this was her favorite page too. I was so thrilled she picked it. It's my favorite page in the whole book. And I don't often do my favorite page in a book first. I get that favorite page syndrome where I'm terrified to touch it because I might screw it up. But I was all in for this page. And I didn't even care that it was a double page spread. These pages are not, as long as you have a medium that covers big spaces like paint, they go pretty fast because these pages are not super detailed. They've got lots of big open space. But unfortunately, they're double-sided, so I can't use alcohol markers. But thank you, Paula, so much for coloring this with me. I loved your page. Once you sent it to me, I was so inspired, but then I was also like, okay, I can't do what Paula did. I have to try to do something different because I really loved your page. So I think I didn't finish mine. Yeah, if it's here in the lineup, then it wasn't until the end of the month that I finished mine. But a lot of pages got done at the very, very last minute into the month because I had taken on a lot. I took on too much in October, but I got it all done. But I'm not taking on that much again because it was a little bit pressured. So yeah, that's it. That's my Creature of the Black Lagoon in this fantastic book. Thank you, Stephanie. I love this book so much. And thank you, Paula, for coloring with me. Then my friend Sherry at Sherry Denowitz, she wanted, I have only colored one page in here, which is ridiculous. I love this book. And it's got great paper. It's single-sided. I can use my alcohol markers. The artistry is great. Why am I not getting into this book? I don't know. So Sherry's like, I want to help you get in that book. Back into it. Because all I've ever done was this page. And I like this page. I had a great time doing it. But I never touched the book again. And I've had it for, I think even back when I was dating it. I got it in April 2023 from Book Outlet. So that's ridiculous. So she helped me and she picked this page because of course it's a pumpkin. Now I was really up against the end of the month. So honestly, if I'd had more time, I would have done more, but I just straight colored it. I would have added some pencil shading, but I just didn't have much time and I just really needed to finish this. And I actually like it a lot. I shaded with alcohol markers, but I think there are some spaces that I would have put some pencil shading in, like up in here and in the grass. But for straight coloring, I think I really enjoy it. I mean, it's very cartoony anyway, so I think it's okay to straight color it. I really was very conscious of the palette on this one. I very much wanted a cohesive palette that all went together, so reds and oranges. The first thing I knew I wanted was yellowish wallpaper. That's what I knew I wanted, and this was the color perfect. In fact, all the colors turned out the way I wanted. And I think it's just the most adorable, like, I imagine these two are both like widowers and they're just getting together. They're having like a second chance at romance, but they also might live here. But I thought it was really cute. And they have like a little mother-in-law hut back here. But it's just, I thought it was a really adorable page and I was so glad Sherry picked it. Now let's look at Sherry's. So remember the yellow wallpaper? We did not see each other's before. I was shocked that we chose so many of the same colors. It was weird. I mean, yellow wallpaper, that's not just a go-to. You don't look at wallpaper and go, it's just not like the first thing you go to. I mean, wallpaper can be anything, but we both chose yellow. Very weird how similar our pages were. And how fun. I mean, we even did the flowers and oranges and reds and stuff. So it was really fun. I had a really good laugh when I saw her page and saw them next to each other. I was like, wow. we were on the same page on this one. So thank you so much, my sweet friend Sherry. This was a lot of fun. This is Tiny Worlds by Matt Edwards. I don't think I've been telling you the names of these books, but this is Matt Edwards, and there are just so many pages in here I want to do. So many. So yeah, but they are not fast pages. They're very detailed. So that it takes a bit. It takes a bit to do it. And I am glad. I am perfectly fine with this. Remember, straight coloring is coloring. I have 2 more. Let me get them. So I actually have a haul video coming out. I never do haul videos really because I don't buy hauls. But I discovered Mercari and eBay finally had some books I was interested in, and I ended up purchasing some used books. I also was gifted a book here and there. So I have a haul coming out, and this will be in there. Oh, excuse me. This is by Good Wives and Warriors, who I thought was a married couple, but they're not. They're a Becky Bolton and Louise Chappell, who graduated from the Glasgow School of Art, and they have collaborated to do lots of art projects, not just coloring books, but they have several coloring books. And these are little. And I knew they were little. And when I got them, I'm like, wow, they're really little. But oh my gosh. A, they're so good. And B, because they're little, something as detailed as this is totally doable. Like, I can get that done in a couple evenings. I didn't realize how appealing a small book would be. This is the smallest book I own. And I got it, and of all the Good Wives and Warriors ones I got, this is my favorite. I would color every single page in here. I didn't think Escape to Shakespeare's World. I mean, I love Shakespeare. I've read it, I've acted it, but I didn't think that it would be something I'd want to color. But oh my gosh, yes. So every page is something I'd want to do, and they're small. So this was not my coloring plans, but I was flipping through this book and I couldn't resist. And so I did 2 pages because they're little. Isn't that great? These are the 2 I did. So what I did was this is from The Tempest. Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. So he's got, this is coral. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. So this is all about the sea, the tempest, and I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so Halloween. And so I was in a nothing but white noise going on in my brain type of day. And so I picked up 5 acrylic markers and I just started coloring him. And that's all I was going to do. And I wasn't even going to finish him. I just needed to just not think. And that's what I did. And one of the markers was a super golden marker, or I think my gold was out. No, this isn't super golden. My gold ran out. And so I was using just a regular shiny golden acrylic pen. So it's not as shiny as a super golden marker for sure. But I used like a green brown and a lighter brown and a burgundy and a bright red and that gold. And then I just started coloring. And black. I blacked out a lot. And I was loving it so much. And then I took the black paint pen and I did these spots all over because I thought it needed something more in the background. And I made them all different sizes so it kind of looked intentional. And then, to my surprise, I did this, scooted the page over, and started working on this one. And for 2 days, I was obsessed. And I just did this. I couldn't stop. I barely slept. I did this all day at work. I didn't talk to many people. I was just, I have brain issues because of COVID, and so my brain's healing slowly, and I think my brain just checked out that day and wanted to heal, so this is what I did. So, and I have to tell you, I love it. I love this so much. I can't, this is like nothing I've ever done before. So maybe I should have bad brain days more often. Oh, I missed a coral right there. I'll have to color that one. He was hiding. Because I had so much fun. I imagine this is what like doing a mandala is like, except it's not repetitive like a mandala, but it's the same. I mean, I just had a little bag with those 5 pens and I took it everywhere with me. And it was so nice to not, I think what was nice is not having choices. My only goal was to not have the same color next to each other so I could see, so there was definition, and that was it. And then I left the rib cage just in the bones, just this color of the paper on this side. So what do you think? I really, really like this. I think I'm going to do that a lot for this book because it is, well, these are actual, there aren't many that are like that. I also thought, isn't this book great? I'm going to go through this. You'll have a full flip through in my haul video. I've also thought that this gave me the idea that there's so many books out there that have things that are busy. Maybe kind of wallpapery or repetitive or something. I'm not a mandala color, but I liked that so much that I might, and I usually skip over those pages, I might find those pages and use color palette challenges and things for them. And like Meg's Coloring Corner, she does mandala, but in the color of a Disney character every month. So I thought I'd find those busy pages and do that instead of an actual mandala, because I could have done that here. And I think I would really like it then, and I would participate in those hashtags. So yeah, this was super fun. I think maybe this was the page I enjoyed doing the most, just because I didn't have to think at all. So I want to do this again, this sort of technique where I just take 5 pens and go for it. And this book is so doable because it's so tiny. It's a tiny little book. See, my hands are little. That's a tiny little book. So yeah. Oh, this one's so good. So that was the second to the last 2 pages I did. And then the masterpiece. So this close was the last book I did, and you saw it throughout all its weird, ugly stages, the Werewolf. I have decided that every month, I do a lot of big pages and I do a lot of double spreads. Double spreads are my favorite, but I've decided that every month, I already do this already. I'm just making it intentional now. There's going to be one double spread page in some book that's going to be the one I work. It's going to be something that requires all month, and I'll work on it throughout the month and show you progress. And it'll just be my opus every month. And it might often be out of Alien Worlds. Who knows? It'll probably often be a Kirby, because they do a double page spread Kirby takes me all month. But I finally finished the Werewolf. All right, let's zoom out, and I'll try to work on this glare because it's been fixed too. Now, opposite day, this is huge. So this Werewolf, okay. It went through so many ugly phases. I'd have to say the whole thing was an ugly phase until the very end. I started with this background. The background is Villainous Potion and Black Soot Distress ink put on with the blendy brush, and I blended it all together. Yep, I blended it all together because I didn't want black. I wanted it purpley black. I was trying not to make too many things black because I didn't know that was the first thing I did just to see the page, and I didn't know what else I was going to make black. So I decided that the sky shouldn't be black. And then the trees have been 3 or 4 different colors. They have been everything, and I didn't like any of it. So I finally just ignored them and moved on. The Werewolf is all Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. Actually, I lied to you. This is Villainous Potion Black Soot watercolor pencils. painted on in swirls. That's right. Because I was going to say, that doesn't look like it's dry. It looks like it was painted. But yeah, it's painted on in swirls. So it wasn't the stamp ink, it was the painted ink. Painted paint. Now, he was going to be very, very different. But when I started painting him with the Tim Holtz watercolor, this was the color I ended up mixing with some of the browns I had. And I liked it so much, it was not the color I was going for, that I changed plans. So I made him a reddish werewolf. He wasn't going to be reddish like this. But that color was so pretty to me that I went ahead and did it. And I mixed, and to give him definition, I mixed darker in here and there into the paint. So I made different versions of that reddish. But I left it lighter on his shoulders so it was really defined out and the rest darker. The yellow, I know looks like it's glowing from the moon. It was supposed to be fire, but I had it yellow based, and then someone's like, oh, I love the way the moon glows off his fur. And I'm like, it does kind of look like that. So I just left it. And instead, I outlined it with some super golden marker. It's in there. Can you see it? There you go. Because the moon wouldn't be glowing in some of these places. The moon's way over here, so it wouldn't glow back here. But he's magical. He's glowing. And then I was still ignoring the trees that I couldn't seem to fix. I did on camera and showed you me painting this. Very watered down. This paper can take a lot of water. Very watered down, the Kuretake granulating orange. So where before you've seen it, it was very orange. Here it's got a lot of the blue coming through because this was really watered down, so it granulated a lot. The more water you add to this paint, the more it granulates. And I liked that. I wasn't sure it went well, but I really liked the effect. It's like lit up, but not obnoxiously lit up, because it would be lit up with the moon coming in. The moon was not supposed to be that yellow, but when I did it, I liked it so much I kept it. I thought it looked good outlining his face. I was gonna go and mute that down, and then I didn't. So again, paints. Tim Holtz watercolor paints. Then I had the trees again. Then I went to the bats. The bats are, there's already so much going on. I wanted the bats, and the bats were just outlines. So I just blacked them out with Sakura glaze pen so they're shiny, and then put silver super golden marker around it, or some silver marker. And these birds also just a little bit of light colored paint with silver marker. I made them, they're just there for the illusion of birds and bats. They're not there to really be a focal point. And I got all that done. I did some more overlay. I mean, there's no pencil on here. This is all just more paint on top. There's no pencil anywhere. And I just would do more paint to give, definition to the toes, some darker, and I just used paint. I just used the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, which is pigment, straight up pigment. And I just worked a lot on him, and it wasn't hard. He went pretty fast. The problem was the trees. I couldn't figure out what to do with them. And then finally, I decided what I was not liking about the trees was that I was trying to color them. They wouldn't be colorful in a dark forest. They would be black, right? So here is where I was thrilled that I made the sky purpley, because I went over the trees in black. Now, I had already gotten so many lighter colors underneath it that the black is kind of lighter and matte, and it's got kind of a greenish bluish cast to it, but that's okay. And then I kept this, I did try to see the trees. I did put kind of moon highlights on them. I'm hoping that still works to try to give the trees some realism, because now at this point they're just blacked out. Because I could not figure them out. But I like it because he needed to be the focal point and the trees were competing. So let me see if I turn this light off. Can you see it better? Ha ha ha. There you go. That light was really glary, wasn't it? So I just think he looks cool like that in semi-darkness, because he really does. The super golden marker I used around him really glows and catches the softer lights I have going on here in the living room. I think he turned out great. He turned out nothing, absolutely nothing like what I had in my head. So far from what I had in my head. But I absolutely love him. So he was my epic job this month. And for October, for November, it's in geomorphia. It's the two roosters. I'm making a white rooster and a black rooster for my lollipop and Elvis roosters. And that's going to be my biggie that you'll be seeing progress on throughout the month. I haven't started it yet, but I need to start because they do take me all month. So I hope you like that. All right. So I really do kind of like it without the light on. It's cozy. I should turn the light off more often. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. For my October completed pages. I want to thank all of my many, many buddies. I had so much fun. I colored 28 pages and loved every single one of them. And Matchstick Mouse was here with me all the way. I still have no idea who sent this to me. But whoever you were, thank you. She has provided me much companionship and comfort here in my cabin in the woods. And I want you to know that I love you. And I'm here for you if you ever need somebody. And I hope you have a happy week of coloring. Bye-bye.